Shefsky here. Welcome to Fantasy House Podcast. It's a comedy podcast. It's also the world's only NSFW real estate podcast. Every week, it's like an imaginary audio version of MTV Cribs. You know, every guest is different. They all have different personality types, and every episode's it's got their personality. Some guests are very square and very calm, and they're clean. They don't say anything naughty or nasty, and they just have a nice fantasy house. And some people are like Andrew Dice Clay, and they're coming in, oh, it's got this and it's got that, and it's weird and it's crazy. And, you know, Lindsay Jennings, she had the pimple door, which I just loved, a door you open in her fantasy house with a pimple she could pop whenever she's stressed out. I mean, it just gets weird. It's like Finn and Jake from Adventure Time designing their own game room. Like, it just gets weird, and I love it. It's so much fun for me, for my guests, and for our listeners, man. And the dedicated listeners, oh, you guys give me so much joy. I love it. And you guys have just been amazing. This episode is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky, the only realtor in Southern California. Okay, not the only realtor. There's like 40 to 50 million realtors in Southern California. But guess what, dude? You want a good one. You want someone that's passionate, enthusiastic, and knows this stuff. I love negotiating on people's behalf. I love getting people what they want. I like feeling like a golden retriever getting patted on the head. Good work. And I just go, roof, roof. I love that feeling. It feels so good. So if you guys want to do any kind of real estate, if you want to know more about buying, selling, if you want to know about multifamily apartment buildings, any of that stuff, I'd love to get together. Free consultation. Just hit me up. Send me a direct message. Slip into my DMs, bruh. Send me a message. We'll get together and chat at Instagram, JONSHEFSKY. Why not, right? Or you can send me a fantasyhousepodcast at gmail.com email, and I'd be happy to set up an appointment with ya. My guest today is a good friend of mine, and we've been road dogs. We've done a bunch of stand-up comedy together. We've traveled. We've hung out. We've been through ups and downs in the craziness of the LA comedy scene, and he's such a funny, creative, great dude. This is going to be it's just a fun episode. I think you're going to love it. Sandy Danto. Just a rad dude. I'm stoked for you guys, and I'm stoked for myself. And yeah, now in the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this. Won't you take it all around the world of your fantasy house? Your home where the most experience in your fantasy house. Get all the money for expensive construction. The only limit is your imagination.
Hi everybody, I'm Sandy Danto. I'm in my mid-30s. My birthday is the day after Christmas. I'm not telling you what year, so you can't steal my identity. You can't know my mother's maiden name. But
I'll put it in the show notes.
It is a street in Beverly Hills. And I don't know if I'm related to the people that it's named after or not, but I'm trying to figure it out so that I can maybe get some free rich people stuff.
The Wilshires. Welcome to the Wilshires.
Instead, yes, I'm just going to talk today as if I have free rich people stuff.
Do you have free rich people stuff you've been holding out on me this whole time?
No, but I found out there's a website you can find out if there's unclaimed property that's being held onto by the state that you could claim, or like for relatives or kin of yours.
Yeah.
So just Google like unclaimed property in the state, and you can look up if there's anything out there.
You'd think we should all be doing that every morning, like first thing.
Oh, I do.
Like, it's safer than checking the stock market.
Before I do anything, I look to see if there's unclaimed property that I could claim.
You're related to.
And I sign up for class action lawsuits. I'm trying to become a career class action lawsuit plaintiff.
Wait, you sign up for class action lawsuits?
Yeah, because
I didn't even know you could do that.
My thing is, I don't think it's morally justified to steal from anyone except corporations. Totally acceptable to steal from corporations. They don't have our best interests in mind.
What?
And so it's like we should all be just trying to rip off corporations as much as possible. They're the reason this country is messed up.
But you can't
Tom Steyer 2020, JK.
I don't know who Tom Steyer is. I know
He's
who
like
Tom
a
Sawyer
billionaire
is.
who's trying to buy his way into the election. He's a joke.
He's a joke?
Yeah.
Well, we're comedians. We tell jokes.
Exactly.
So
That's why I just mentioned his name.
you told him. Yeah.
Yeah.
His name. There you go. Set up, punchline. Rim shot. Tom Sawyer's Island, folks. You want to live on it? Well, vote for Tom Sawyer 2020. I saw a bumper sticker the other day when I was driving it. It was Beavis and Butthead 2020. And I was like, yes, this is comedy.
I just hope that's a promo for a reboot. That's the reboot America needs.
I think they tried to come back. Did they? Did they come back for a season?
They did come back for a season. The Beavis and Butthead people need is just an entire show of them doing basically Mystery Science Theater, but of music videos. Why? Yeah. We need that. We need that. It doesn't exist. Bring it back. There's no reason it doesn't exist. Mike Judge is up there with the creators of South Park, Trey and Matt, with never really putting anything out that's been bad.
He's had a few like somewhat floppy movies, but they still turn out to be cult hits. But was it Nutmeg or no? What the hell's the name of it?
The one with Jason Bateman.
Yeah,
I don't remember the name of it.
Where J.K. Simmons uses the word dingus, and it became a cult classic word to say like that guy's a dingus. It's
he hasn't put out anything that if you watch, you're just like, oh, that was embarrassing for him.
That's true. And Trey Parker, Matt Stone. Yeah, to me, they're on their next level. I pretty much just have like them, Larry David, and Mel Brooks on like this like pedestal in my mind.
You should put Mike Judge on there too. Have you ever watched? If you ever watch Tales from the Tour Bus, which is an obscure show that was only on Cinemax, but you can watch it on Amazon or iTunes.
I heard,
which I highly recommend.
It's good, right?
One of the best shows ever.
I have heard that, and I trust you when you say that, so I will check it out.
It's really good. When you were doing the intro, I thought you were going to be like, if you're operating heavy machinery, you can't get inebriated. You said take a deep breath, but I thought you were going to say take a CBD because you're like get inebriated.
Wait, that's still a form of inebriation if you take enough CBD.
It's not going to impair your driving.
My sister-in-law is a nurse, and she was stressed out.
She got a CBD DUI.
And she bought a CBD brownie, and she didn't enjoy it. She got like too high, and I was like, "But you got CBD."
I've taken too much CBD where I just like felt uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but
that's such a bummer that there's a drug that does that. Where you're like, it didn't make me happy, it just made me uncomfortable.
I would say more times than not in my adult life.
More times than not in my adult life, weed wasn't what I needed.
That sounds like a Nickelback song.
It is. It's that song was written by Josh Adam Myers of the Gosh Darn Comedy Germ.
Yeah.
Okay,
dude, so don't bring me up on your podcast unless you're gonna use the Baltimore twang.
When you do your impressions of comics, and guys, if you're listening to this and you don't, I did not do a thorough, awesome intro job. Host 101. Let me just give you a lesson. I screwed up there.
Oh, Shefsky just gave me the best intro job.
Sandy, I should have. I know you're doing a character right there, but Sandy does these things when the Comedy Store late at night used to be, and this is for years, boring or too weird, and it almost like, would you say it didn't connect with people? You would come on stage and you would just bring it all together. He's taking his shirt off, folks.
I've taken my shirt off. I got to get comfortable. It's warm in here.
It is toasty.
Am I wrong about that?
We both get naked by the end of this. No more toxins and tons of gay sex.
I just got out of the shower when I rushed. When you have a kid, and I have a kid, and you have two.
Yeah.
For those of you listening that don't know about our lives.
These loads, they turn into people.
And I'm not telling you my daughter's first and middle name because, again, you're not going to steal my identity. But
her name's Beverly Wilshire. They named her pretty on the nose.
Yeah, we named her Sunset Sepulveda. Yeah. Which is a beautiful name.
A little bit more of the ghetto version of it, though.
Yeah.
Sunset Sepulveda.
It's more of a gritty version.
El Segundo.
We named her Magnolia Burbank.
Chatsworth and Please Kill Me.
After Brody Stevens, we named her.
Brody.
We named her Chandler Magnolia.
Very cute.
Yeah,
very cute.
Her initials are 818. Actually, her initials. Her birthday.
This is
my sister's
inside,
birthday
folks.
is 818.
This is high and inside. Look up Brody Stevens. You'll understand, folks. If you're comedy fans,
this
will know. Paul Sanders
podcast
what's up.
Is all just dedicated to our dead friends.
It really is, huh?
Yeah.
Every single episode is, in the words of the great Angelo Bowers. But you know what? It makes me happy. It doesn't make me sad to think about it. It makes me joyous to bring him here and make him part of it.
I was thinking about it because there's all this Brody stuff hung up all over the Comedy Store and Angelo's name's on the wall.
Yep.
And every time I see it, and I've been struggling about both of them lately, just thinking that they're not here anymore. But I was just like, no, it's so much better that I see them all the time and remember them and remember the fun things and all that. Because if you just like get over it and let them go away, that's what's sad.
Or you bury it like people do with their emotions.
Right.
No. And they're not here biologically like we are right now. But like, who knows that it feels like time is just all one thing, or that we're all the same like giant soul just experiencing everything through all of these different lives, you know? And so it's like they're here. They're in our heart. Yeah, Angelo's not walking around and, I'm not able to take my hat off and whack him with it, and he's not teasing me and twisting my nipple and doing the weird stuff we used to do when we'd hang out and making fun of me. He'd scold me. He'd call me at early in the morning. He'd call me and just while I was on the toilet, he'd roast me. You probably eating sushi right now, taking your 14th dump, cream pie. And I'd be like, okay, dude. And I would just laugh my ass off and then just try to roast him back.
My favorite memory of him, just sidetrack here, was when we were shooting that sketch in Fullerton. In Fullerton, yeah.
At the tattoo shop, and you played Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a fun
And he
time.
was the devil, right? Or you were the devil.
I was the devil, and he just played himself because you never make Angela get into a different wardrobe.
Telling each other one-liners. I was like doing skeezy one-liners.
Oh, yeah.
And cracking him up, and he was telling me one-liners, and it was just the fun.
This reminds me, getting back to it though, this reminds me of like where I was going with it. And so at the Comedy Store, guys, late at night, it could be like really, and now it's a little bit different.
Speaking of which, that night, it used to get really crazy late at night because it wasn't the club that it is today. It was more of like
social media,
inmates run the asylum, pre-social media. Social media was around, but Instagram wasn't, and it wasn't the thing that it is now, where it's like ubiquitous part of our life, but just really, really sort of like it was a place where it was a safe space for comedy. And I don't mean a safe space where it was like you're not going to hear anything that triggers you. You would pretty much exclusively hear stuff that would trigger you. And on this particular night, so you were saying like I would late at night I would do impressions of comics there
and it killed.
To get all the other comics laughing.
Yeah.
But it somehow killed with whoever was left in the audience. But on this particular night of my favorite memory of Angelo shooting that sketch with you, I drove back, went straight to the Comedy Store. And there was a girl like flashing people on the patio. And by the time I parked my car and went in, she was on stage with Don Barris and Sam Tripoli, and she was flashing people. Yeah. And then Ari Shafir and Dan Madonia were there, and they had a literal dick measuring contest, and it was judged by her.
They pulled their actual penises out on stage.
Yes, and
wild stuff.
She measured their penises with her mouth. On stage in front of an audience.
This is the world's only NSFW.
And I lived with Dan at the time, and then she slept over at our house.
Wow.
On his bed in our living room.
That's the weirdness that is the Hollywood experience.
I'm excited to do this podcast because I have gone from some pretty strange living situations in squalor in my life. Mm-hmm. Beds in living rooms, multiple beds in living rooms, just like
not a living room, just
no living room, just
alleyway,
sleeping in cars, getting coffee.
That's called dedication, folks.
Sleeping in Jerry Seinfeld's car while he's getting coffee and he doesn't know. That's my web series. But I was just saying, like, I took my shirt off because I was in a rush. When you have a kid, you're always in a rush for some reason. Unless you're willing to forego your free time and just like say, you know what, I'll get there so early that I don't mind waiting.
Yeah.
You're always just like, all right, I gotta get moving, I gotta get out of the house. So I had an hour to exercise, shower, and get here. And luckily, where we're recording, 4 minutes away from where I live.
You guys know too much about Sandy now. You know his daughter's name is Beverly Wilshire. You know he lives in the Valley, and you know he's looking for properties.
I actually am looking for property, and we'll talk about that after.
He's about to inherit the random property on the internet. Yeah, dude. Okay, go on.
I'm looking for unclaimed property. Hopefully that's my fantasy house. But I'm still sweating from my workout that I've since showered and driven here and started talking to you. So I had to take off my shirt.
I love it.
Don't you hate it when you shower but you're still sweating from the shower and you're not sure what the wetness is, if it's the shower
what the wetness
or the sweat? Welcome back to What the Wetness Is.
What the wetness is.
So,
not to be mistaken for What the Witness Is, a whole different podcast.
When do we start talking about what I want to have for my house?
Wow, look at you rushing into it. Yeah, what's the geographic?
I'm not rushing into it, but I'm so horny to talk about whatever, like my ideal living space. Because who doesn't think about that all the time?
And without any limits, too. Like, we're constantly going, I can't afford that house. You go to get your pre-approval, or you go to look at whatever cash you have, and you're like, I can't afford that property.
Right.
But this way, the reason I do this is it's like it's a release of just like, this is your imagination. No money, no stress about like just as fast as your mind can come up with a cartoony. That's why I say Adventure Time or Rick and Morty. Like just as fast as you can just come up with a concept. I feel like it's such a fun exercise. So
saying Adventure Time or Rick and Morty puts a lot of pressure on me because I don't necessarily see mine as being some like unrealistic sci-fi version.
Yeah.
I am aggressively comfortable.
Okay.
Many people have described me as that. I'm self-described as aggressively comfortable. I know exactly what I want in my house. I know what I need. I know where I want it to be. You know, it's hard to limit myself to one location because I would need to be in LA for what I do. I love living in LA. I want to be here, but
even in your fantasy world,
in my fantasy world,
because like if we're like
my
flying
fantasy
a drone,
house,
if we're flying a drone over your fantasy house, where are we? Are we in LA or are we somewhere else?
I'm thinking about this.
It can be
because
wherever you want.
logistically,
no limits.
Logistically, I'd want it to be in LA. But if I'm just talking pure fantasy here,
yeah, let's go pure fantasy.
Here's what my house is. I've taken over a hotel property and structure in Lake Tahoe, one of those hotel casinos on the lake, and I'm completely renovating the inside and outside because I don't want it to look like some like run-of-the-mill cheesy Tahoe casino.
Not Sandy Danto's is not going to have that. No. What
I want it to be like the outside is all windows, but all the windows, even though they're see-through, they block light and they are solar panels.
Okay.
It's like solar panel windows on the outside. So it looks super futuristic, but it has a nice, sleek design.
Yeah.
You know, I think an older version of myself would want like an old-fashioned, like beautiful architecture, like sort of like Victorian, like San Franciscan architecture.
Yeah.
You know what I love about cities like San Francisco, New Orleans? The identity is very wrapped up. They're beautiful cities, both geographically, topographically, but also the architecture there give those cities their own identity. LA doesn't really have that. It's a hodgepodge. Like you have a really futuristic looking building sitting next to like a apartment building that looks like it's run down from the 70s next to a beautiful house that was built in the 30s.
I get that. And I love that and hate it. I understand what you're saying where you're like,
it's just
in a negative way, but also that's the flavor. It's like,
right.
You know, I like a lot of like miscellaneous stuff for like music genres and for
me too.
Art
and
I do
like the diversity.
I do like the randomness. You know?
I agree.
Because too much order, then you get fascism in theory, you know.
But see,
and that's no good.
I'm willing. You're right. No, yeah.
Unless you want some fascism for your fantasy, you can have fascism. You can have whatever you want.
Well, here's the thing: if I'm designing my own fantasy house, I am a fascist because I'm not taking anyone else's say.
Oh yeah,
it's all just what I say goes.
Good. This is what it's supposed to be.
But it's a tough thing. It's an internal conflict because I'm having to forgo what I would want architecturally. I would want something that looks like a building from San Francisco.
Okay, so check this out.
But I'd want the efficiency and the sleekness of having solar panels that don't look like solar panels and that just look like two-way glass.
So let's have this. Let's say you have let's have the Victorian, general Victorian inspired architecture, but like futuristic and modern. So you've still got shapes to work with. You've got different parameters that you would choose from that architecture, but you would make all that stuff high tech, and you'd remove stuff that isn't high tech from that bothers you or is too cluttered or whatever else. Also, let's remove any other stress that this could be your only fantasy house. Because, dude, you can come back for season 2 and have a different fantasy house. We'll have a fantasy party house, all those things.
Well, I'm just thinking, if I didn't do what I did, I'd want to live in Lake Tahoe.
Okay, awesome. So
or like Portland or Seattle, but somewhere like that where it's like an idyllic scenery. You get like a nice version of every season.
Yeah.
You're in nature, but there's also the conveniences,
all the comforts of civilization.
Of civilization.
Oh yeah, same here. It's a great balance.
So I'd want a hotel type building because I can't be put in a box. I'm a multifaceted person. I want to have different quadrants where I could have different things. I'd want my living chambers and my living wing of where I'm going to live, obviously, like my sleeping area and all that. But I want the diversity of like trying out different sleeping situations. I've always wanted in my house a room of all memory foam.
Yeah, that's great.
The ceiling doesn't need to be memory foam. A padded cell, yeah. A padded cell.
Yeah, dude.
But just a place where you could just like bounce off the walls and be completely cozy. Like, you know when you go to the park with your kid?
Yeah.
There's that floor where it looks like asphalt, but it's like soft.
Yeah, the rubber, the bunch. I forgot what it's called. It's like rubber pebbles that are all melded together. Yeah.
I want that, but in a clean, comfortable indoor situation.
Totally.
Where it's like soothing music's playing, almost like sensory deprivation, but the only sensory you are allowed is pure comfort.
That's great. You're only allowed one sensory here, buddy. Pure comfort. Like you're all scared when you're saying it, but then you're like, "Oh, pure comfort? Oh, great. I'll take that one."
And this is a room that would be in the wing of my fantasy house with a spa. And I'm talking about steam room, hot sauna,
love it,
cold dip, hot tub, massage room,
you love
lounge.
That. You and I have talked about that several times over the years that you like the hot what is it, cold dip to hot room back and forth.
You go in the steam in the sauna. You get your body at a temperature where you're pushing the limits of what you think you're capable
heat you can handle. Yep.
And then you jump into that cold dip and you get out. Your body feels like your entire body, every square millimeter of your body feels like it has the nerve endings that your genitalia have.
Jesus, you want me to?
It feels like
this right now. I want to be a giant penis.
I do want to go to this right now as well.
Just a couple of frenums.
Yeah.
Just feeling it.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's the best. I don't get to go to the spa enough, and I love it. It feels very restorative. And if I just had one in my house, even in my house, not like we're in the market to maybe look for a new house. If there was a situation where I could like have like a cold, I would take a cold tub over a hot tub, like a temperature stable cold tub, because you could take just a really, really hot shower and then jump in that cold tub. And
I'm craving this right now.
I'm craving it right now too. Very bad.
You're like making me like just like, whew, we got to stop this podcast. I got to go jump into one of those.
Yeah. I want to get a cryo chamber. Have you done cryotherapy?
No, I haven't.
It's amazing. It also pushes the limits of what your body can handle, but you feel so good afterward.
Yeah.
There's also
like for days or for an hour or like
for days.
Like your body, does like your aches go away or something?
Yeah, your aches and pains subside and you just feel energized. Yeah, you feel good.
Go do this.
Allegedly, it burns a lot of calories, but I don't know how that works.
So you just bring a meatball sandwich.
I'm not a calorie scientist.
Burn the calories while you're grubbing down. Okay, so what other? So let's say we go to that and we jump into we go from a steam room to a cold dip. Now where do we go next?
There's also I went to a place once, a wellness center, where they had the cryo and they had all this stuff. They also have a gravity bed with a heightened gravitational pull that you could sleep on for an hour, but it makes your body's physiology and brain feel like you've slept a full night's sleep.
No way.
I would need one of those
can't be
as
real.
well. I said I wasn't going to get sci-fi here.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't. And
how much is it to do it? They're like it's $600 for a minute.
I regret it. 20 minutes on there makes you feel like you've taken a nap for 4 hours.
Really?
Yeah. And I need that.
I think we all need that. Everyone needs one in their house.
You could put on these pants that fill up with water and they're compression, and it like basically heals whatever's wrong.
Is it in your fantasy house or in real life?
Both.
Oh wow. Okay.
This is a place I got to go to once that I just think about on a daily
So far,
basis.
we're in like the healing wing. We're pampering ourselves and healing. Where do we go? Is there a kitchen and a bathroom?
Well, I think when you go to a hotel, the spa is always connected to the gym, and I would have a gym.
Okay.
Despite what you may think when you hear my voice or look at me, am a very avid exerciser.
I know you are.
What I currently do now is we have a spin bike in my house, one of those fancy schmancy Pelotons that my wife got as a gift, to herself when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And I use it, but I don't live stream spin classes. I play video games while My trick to working out is you got to do something that's fun while you do the physical activity, and I don't sacrifice the intensity in which I work out at.
Yeah.
But I got to do stuff that's fun, or else I can't just like repeatedly pick up weights. That's not fun. I love physical labor,
but it's got to be fun.
It's got to be fun.
You got to blend it with
fun. So here's what here are my favorite exercises. Rock climbing. I do a lot of indoor rock climbing. I have gone outdoors, but few and far between. I like doing the spin bike while I play video games. I like doing the treadmill while I play video games.
Yeah, you've got great videos.
I like dancing while I'm on the treadmill.
Yep. Those are some comedy hits.
I like doing boxing classes. So I would just have
on
a
the
facility.
Treadmill?
No, but I should do it on the treadmill. I took a boxing class 3 times, and it taught me that I'd never really exercised before this.
Oh, yeah, because it's so intense.
And so I've taken what I learned from those classes, and I've incorporated it into every workout I've ever done ever since.
Oh, cool.
But I would just want to have a facility with like punching bags and spin bikes, but video games everywhere.
Make it fun.
Make it fun, like TV screens with movies. So if you're like, I'm just not feeling the game right now, you could just switch to watching a movie. Rock climbing wall, not just wall, but different like bouldering problems and all that.
Bouldering problems. It's a great name for a sketch group. Coming to the stage, welcome.
But it's not spelled boulder like BOULDER, like a boulder.
BOLD.
Yeah. Anything that you could picture wanting, like chin up bars and weights, if that's what you're feeling like.
Yeah.
Okay. All the stuff that you would find. I love swimming laps. There would be an indoor and an outdoor pool.
You greedy asshole.
But one of those where it like starts indoor.
It's both.
But then there's a wall. There's like a little like doggy door.
Yeah, you swim through.
You swim through, and it's outdoor too. And it's an infinity pool that goes out over a scenic viewpoint over the Lake Tahoe.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So take me to a different.
And I would have a nice deck area with like an outdoor bar and barbecue area. I'm a big food guy.
Yeah, me too.
As much as I love exercising, I love food even more, and that's why I love and have to convince myself I love exercising. And I've noticed you're wearing a Bloodsoe's barbecue hat.
Oh, yeah.
Great barbecue place. I would have a giant industrial-sized smoker outside in my barbecue area, and one of those barbecue grills that you imagine Guy Fieri has to have at his house.
Oh yeah. What would you? Well, okay, so if we're here with the film crew, right? The Fantasy House crew's here. There's me, the host. There's the camera guy. There's the producer lady. All these people here from Fantasy House, and you're like, guys, come check this out. You show me the smoker. What are you going to serve us up?
I'm going to serve you up some brisket and some pork shoulder and some pork belly.
Oh, pork belly.
And some smoked chicken, ribs, slathered in sauce, but also smoked.
Slathered.
I'm going to serve up some smoked whitefish. It's one of my favorite.
Yummy. So
Jewish
Jewy
staples.
of you. So Jewy of you. And also some smoked whitefish. On a bagel with some... Dude, smoked whitefish like made into like a tuna kind of salad on a bagel is so good.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Me too.
So good.
With some caviar on it.
Oh my god! Oh wow! Now we're getting fancy. There's a whole different tribe of Jews than what I'm used to.
There's a smoked fish place in Brooklyn called Shefsky's, and every time I go there, I think of you because it's a very similar name. But they have a sandwich that's smoked whitefish with wasabi flavored caviar. It's like it's pickled in wasabi,
like real wasabi. Then,
yeah,
which is amazing,
and it's unbelievable.
I would love.
They have a sandwich that uses latkes as the bread.
Oh, whoa!
It's shout out to Shefsky's. It's unbelievable.
Shefsky here.
But I would have to have also a wine cellar. I'm not like a huge wine guy, but I'd want to have it.
Yeah.
As to impress people. But I'd also need to have a part of that, like a cedar room where I'm curing meats. All different kinds of meats, exotic meats, domestic meats. Is that what you call meats that aren't exotic? Domestics?
Well, I mean, you can have a local exotic meat.
Yeah.
So
I'd want to have a Kim Kardashian style walk-in refrigerator situation. There would probably be one of those refrigerators that are built into the wall where you can't really tell it's a refrigerator because the door is
oh yeah,
is
it's got the same
camouflage to the walls in every room. Why should I have to walk? And I'm standing up because I'm passionate about this. Why should I have to walk to the kitchen to enjoy a nice, refreshing cold beverage? I want it in my room, and I want it now.
Invisible refrigerator.
And I want everybody in every room to have that too.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I would have a soda fountain that would have every flavor of carbonated water. It's my thing. I'm a huge New York seltzer water guy, which is very obscure and hard to find. You might be thinking
they used to have it out
the
here.
Sodas in the glass bottles. They're great. Too much sugar. They made a short-lived seltzer water, no calories, that I loved.
Like a black cherry with no calories?
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
With no sugar, no sweenener. It was just so good.
Totally.
The orange and the grapefruit flavors were amazing. But I would have those on tap soda fountain. But also you know those machines that Coca-Cola makes where you could just get any of the sodas they've ever made?
Yeah, that's they have those everywhere now.
Yeah.
It would be that.
It would be that. I would have that. I need that. I just want
you
to.
You can have it.
When I am in the mood for something, just be able to have it.
Yeah, it's
on hand.
Do you think you'd ever get bored of that, though, being able to have it? Be like, it's hard to make up my mind. I need something else to impress me now.
No, because it's not hard to make up your mind when it's available and disposable. Like you could just, you know what? Decided I wasn't in the mood for orange soda. I'm going to dump this out, and I'm just going to have some pink lemonade.
That sounds great. I like both of those. You mentioned that soda machine. You know, soda was great. That I don't know why it didn't pick up. It was such a perfect match. It's the Coca-Cola coffee.
I never had that.
Yeah, it's like they ran a test. It didn't do well, but I drank it at my grandparents' house like 10 years ago and was so blown away by how good it was. And it disappeared off the market, which I guess you could make it pretty easily, right? Just brew up a pot of coffee and pour some Coca-Cola in there, and there you go. But it was really well done. It was really well done.
It doesn't sound appealing to me, but I respect anyone's obscure, weird beverage choice.
It's not like I said like lasagna flavored Coca-Cola. I mean,
that
it's coffee.
That actually sounds awesome.
You fucking freak. I love it. Shefsky here. Hey, you guys know I'm not just a fantasy real estate agent. I'm a really real real estate agent. That's right. In real life in Southern California, I am a realtor. So hit me up if you want to talk about houses, condos, multifamily apartment buildings. If you want to sell a house, buy a house, fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com or on Instagram at JONSHEFSKY. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Real estate. It's really fun. All right, guys. Back to the show. Okay, take us to a bathroom. I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm in your fantasy house. How does one
Are you
leave?
in my bathroom or are you in one of my many guest bathrooms? I've always believed in living in a house, more bathrooms than bedrooms.
Yep. Well, that's great. That's great. I mean, the nicer the house, usually there are more bathrooms in
climate. Okay, I just got to put this out there.
Yeah.
Every room is individually climate controlled. Why should there be a thermostat that applies to every room where there are multiple people inhabiting? Everybody has a different heat index for them personally.
For sure.
Every room is individually climate controlled.
Yep.
And that must have been weird for him. Somebody just walked into the room.
Well, that's Roy. This is his studio, so he's fine.
I hope he's cool with
and
me.
he's used to me and my friends coming
I hope he's cool with me just
being without your shirt on, walking around.
But every room is individually climate controlled. I've said that 17 times now. But then also the floors, like especially in bathrooms, it's nice to have a nice heated floor as long as it's not too hot.
Yeah, take us into your bathroom. I want to go to
My bathroom has a steam shower and has one of those showers that's like a walk-in closet, and there's just shower heads with great pressure, but not too much pressure. You ever been in a shower where the shower pressure's too hard and it like stings your skin?
Have you been hurt by a shower?
But one of the shower heads has that kind of pressure. You don't have to turn it on every time, but it has one of those, like, it's a steam shower, but it has shower heads at every angle. You can hit every angle. It's basically like
Even up?
Yeah, even up. Because you got to hit those angles. You got to clean out those.
angles.
Like it's basically like
I'm a man of many crevices. I
a
understand.
shower with bedangles. Bidet angles.
Bidet angles. Hashtag bedangles.
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 And I would have a bidet on every toilet.
Yeah.
Japanese toilets in every bathroom.
Love it. Love it.
Urinals in every bathroom.
Urinal. No urinal in every bathroom.
Here's my thing. I think they're more efficient and better for the environment. As I've become a dad, I enjoy a good sit-down pee. Not in public, at home.
At home, you sit down to pee?
Especially in the middle of the night.
Not judging.
As
I'm literally
I've
curious.
gotten into my 30s, that happens more frequently. I got to wake up in the middle of the night to pee. What am I going to... Here's my thing. You ever go to somebody's... You definitely see this in public a lot. But have you seen at somebody's house where there's like pee-pee drippings near the toilet?
Yeah.
That's unacceptable to me.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
So I'm not gonna in the middle of the night risk there being urine spots all over the floor.
That's not very hygienic. That's not hygiene. That's more like, bye, Gene.
Bye, Gene.
Bye, Felicia, and bye, Gene. I'm going somewhere where the toilet's clean. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, girl.
What's the bathroom look like? Like if you describe it visually, because I want to paint these pictures for our listeners.
Okay, the bathroom, the floor.
What's the floor?
Is a lot of like chiseled stone tiling.
Nice, I like that.
And same with the fixtures and the countertops, like marble and stone.
Yeah,
like sort of that
marble. They're owned by Disney, right?
Like as if it was like as if the Jews in Egypt had put this bathroom together.
Folks, I said this episode might get political. You're seeing it here now. I warned
it's getting biblical.
It's getting biblical, baby.
Yeah, just like a lot of stone.
Okay.
At least this is my bathroom.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Bathtub jacuzzi.
Don't be ashamed of what bathroom you want. I want to feel it.
But I'd want all the different bathrooms to have a different flavor. All very clean looking.
Take us to another bathroom.
Roombas, then. Mop Roombas.
Yeah, totally. Roombas everywhere. Roombas in every room.
Yeah.
Okay, take us to another room. Give us like a juxtaposition. So we've seen your bathroom.
So another bathroom would be like sports bar bathroom, like Tim Allen in Home Improvement bathroom, like screens on the wall. But here's the thing. Also, essential oil diffusers throughout the house, all throughout the house.
Is this for you or your wife?
For everybody. I love a good essential oil.
What's your favorite essential oil flavor or scent?
Eucalyptus.
Oh, that's great.
I'm a big lavender guy too.
Eucalyptus? Eucalyptus. Eucalyptus?
Oh, yeah.
Love it. Did you just say you love lavender?
Love lavender.
I absolutely
You got to be a monster not to love lavender.
I'm not going to judge people that don't love lavender, but holy shit, when you do love it, we're buddies.
I need a good smell.
We're lavender babies.
But I do not, under any circumstances, want a phony chemical deodorizing aroma near me at any time.
No
I do not want to be
no Swiffers.
inhaling that.
No.
Just
you don't need to.
The finest essential oils.
Oh, yeah. I like rose
perforating throughout the house at all times.
Oh, yeah.
Rosemary is great.
Please perforate. Brother, please perforate.
So, yeah, I'd have like other, TV screens, tablets, all Japanese toilets, light colors, clean whites and grays.
Is this a third bathroom? Because we have
there's a third bathroom that if you are tripping balls, you're going to want to go in.
Tripping balls bathroom.
It's all very colorful.
It's calming.
But every room is essentially, it's a hotel, so every room's set up to have a bathroom.
What's a room? Okay, so we're at your fantasy house. We've got a few minutes left. What is a room that we've got to see while we're here? Like, is it a kitchen? Is it
the kitchen?
Let's see the kitchen.
Is open concept.
Take me to your kitchen, baby.
Giant stove.
Ooh, big old stove.
Crock pots built into the kitchen island.
Crock tops built in.
So that I could just drop stuff in there, let it sit.
What are you dropping in?
Some brisket, more brisket.
This man
meatballs.
Brisket man.
Lobster. Can you crock pot lobster?
Yeah, sure, dude. Whatever. We're having lobster. We're at your fantasy house. We're having lobster.
There would be a whole wing of the house that'd be devoted to laser light shows. There would be a planetarium at the top, laser light shows all day, every day. You look out at night and you're like, whoa, what is going on? Is that a disco up there? It's just a fucking Pink Floyd laser light show.
Ooh, Pink Floyd. What song's playing?
24/7.
What song's playing? We're here. What song's playing?
Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
Oh, shine
Part 2.
on you crazy diamond.
It wouldn't always be Pink Floyd.
I get that, but right now while the show's being filmed,
Right,
the crew's
right.
here.
I know.
It's like an episode of Cribs. Like, we're here. What are you gonna? How are you? You're picking your favorites.
It would be I Go to Rio. Have you ever heard that song? I go to Rio.
I don't think I know
De
the song.
Janeiro.
I was thinking about her name is Rio and she dances in the
It would be a Pink Floyd laser light show. Barry Manilow playing the whole time.
with like the blow up pig floating around from
Yeah.
animals. So you're like, I thought it was Pink Floyd. Like, just go with it.
I would have a sports book with all the different screens, but some of them are video games. Some of them are just
Dude, no one's had
then
that.
a separate
That's a
movie
trip.
theater screening room.
So there's a little bit of a Vegas-y gambly feel there with a sports book.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, Tahoe has all
That's
the
cool.
casino
Yeah, that's true.
stuff,
That's
too.
right.
I would have a casino floor.
I used to
but
live in
not-
Mammoth.
No smoking.
They would say there's no hose like Tahoes when I lived in Mammoth. And my girlfriend at the time, I remember her going with her friend over there, and I didn't go on the trip too. And I was like, I wonder what they did over there. They came back with the whole "there's no hose like Tahoes." Anyways, going on, moving on. I'm just a little throwing a little tidbit about myself into your fantasy house.
I would definitely have a bounce house room.
Got to. So you have a padded room. You have several. You have that padded. You have
Yeah.
a memory foam room. You have the Gymboree like rubber cement room, and then you also have a bounce room. So
Yeah, because
there's a theme of like,
there would be like a giant. There'd be a floor that's just a kid's playroom,
yeah.
and it would have the bounce house room. It would have like a game room with board games, but video games and whatever little kid. There would be like a fantasy room where kids can go and like put on costumes and play out whatever narrative
Exercise
they're into.
their imagination
Moana
in
or
their way.
Frozen or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Two great-
There'd be
great movies,
like a
by the
little
way.
kid's gym where they have those little. Remember in elementary school, those little. It was just like a little plastic platform with 3 wheels on it.
Yeah.
A lot of those type things, dodgeball, trampolines,
That's
everything.
great.
Everything you can imagine that your kids want you to schlep them to and pay a shitload of money and sign a waiver. So basically, like if they get injured, it's on you, even though it's definitely the place's fault. I would have all that shit at my
At your
place.
house.
And I would make other people sign those waivers.
So
You'd have to sign a waiver to come into the house.
if you have to pick, we got a little bit of time left. We're getting close to the wire. If you had to pick your last 2 rooms,
Okay.
take us to them.
Okay.
It could be anything. It could be your backyard. It could be your garage. It
I
could be your
feel
basement.
like-
It could be your room. Anything you want.
I
Anything you
feel
want.
like I hate this term, but I feel like it's probably
Well, that's what the
staple.
pregnant lady said towards the end. Am I right, folks? That's a tough one. The
No,
last term.
it's the first term is the worst.
Is that the hardest one?
Yeah,
Depends.
first trimester.
Depends who's preggers.
That's true.
Some ladies don't. I know my wife and all of her sisters. By the last part, they're just like, "Damn,
Oh, yeah.
how much longer? Get this baby out. I want a glass of wine."
But the first trimester, you're just sick the whole time. You can't
true.
tell anybody why.
yeah, you can.
People just think you're a leper.
Dude, I tell people I'm pregnant.
I hate the terminology man cave, but let's just go there.
In the old days, that meant a dude's butthole. You know
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
And now people are
No, that's what I'm
bragging.
talking about.
You want to see my man
That's
cave?
what
I'm like, not
You
really.
wanna see- that's what
the
I would call
Coatsy
it.
JPEG
You
that
wanna
everyone
come-
was passing around the internet? No, I don't want to see your man cave. If you don't mind, I barely want to see your balls.
But that's what I would call it, my butthole.
Okay. That's the room in your house?
Yes.
You guys want to see my butthole? Don't you have like a man cave or something? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But that's also how I keep people out that aren't cool. And in my man cave,
I'm just thinking of a
in
sticker.
my butthole.
I'm thinking of a sticker for Fantasy House for your episode for our Patreon subscribers. That is the hands of the goatsy, the famous goatsy guy.
Mm.
But it photoshopped the inside of the colon out and put like a generic Google image of like a dude's man cave, like with his leather chair and his dartboard and the pool table. Welcome to my man cave. Okay, go on.
In my man cave,
In my man cave.
in my butthole,
In my butthole.
I would have all the stuff that my wife says is junk that I cherish.
Which is what?
I have
tangible
a bunch
examples.
of old Walkmen.
Okay, you got a little collection. Yeah.
And I have a car phone and all the old Nokias. I think that stuff's
it's like curio cabinet retro.
It's fun, like stuff
your
that's
Smithsonian.
conversation. Yes, curio cabinet retro. I have a lot of display cases with all my toys and all my memorabilia. I would have a separate retail space with all my vintage T-shirts, whether I still wear them or not, that I could just have them to keep them there to appreciate myself. I would have an art studio so I could paint and draw and sculpt, which is space that I don't have currently, and I feel creatively stifled because of it, and I need that in my own house. I would have an office that I could work on my comedy stuff, an edit bay for videos and what have you, a little green screen, not a little, a big green screen
yeah,
studio
it's your fantasy
room.
house, no budget. Big.
I would have sound stages because it's a hotel, and why
Yeah.
the fuck not?
That's a green screen, a soundstage.
But this is all just one
there.
floor that's my butthole, my man cave. I would have my screening room would be on my butthole.
Is it going to say that somewhere? Like, is the elevator going to say like floor 1, 2, 3, and then like it just says my butthole?
Yes.
Okay. Just curious.
I would have full movie theater concessions, popcorn.
Yumzers.
I'm a big popcorn guy.
Dude, if I'm going to your butthole, I'm bringing grub.
You got to have popcorn.
Caramel corn.
Gourmet candies and chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to mess around with jujubes, okay?
It sounds anti-Semitic.
Only the best for me.
Okay.
Only the best for me and my guests.
Just so you guys know, I'm still sitting in my chair with my mic, and Sandy's standing above me with no shirt on, like he's doing stand-up for one guy.
Podcasts should be done standing
this
up
is
by
great.
comics.
No, this is really. I wish Roy was in here taking a picture of us right now. Like this episode is just so funny.
I would need a racetrack, but it wouldn't be for cars. It would be for like golf carts and go-karts.
Yeah.
And just an off-road area for that as well.
Yes, sir. Sign me up.
I'm a big fan of psychedelic drugs, so I would just need areas where I could be loud and outside and do recreational stuff and still be safe.
Yep.
My pool would need to be big enough I could ride jet ski in it.
I know you need a jet ski pool.
I'm a big fan of recreational vehicles, golf carts, ATVs, jet skis, dirt bikes. Too scared of motorcycles. Just stuff that's recreational, you can have fun and do wild stuff on without a crazy risk of your life.
Yeah. Although you're risking your life on anything, but this is your fantasy house. You can be as wacky as you want.
But stuff that's like more controlled, especially if you're inebriated.
Now, is this stuff all going to be in a giant garage, like a giant warehouse garage, or is this stuff just out and you can just hop on things?
On the ground.
You can just hop on stuff wherever you want.
Stuff on the
Because I do I like the orderly, like put it all away, but there is something fun, especially in a fantasy world, of just like, every 10 steps you're walking into like a different vehicle you can just jump into, like a video game, and just start playing
Exactly.
with it.
That's exactly what
That's kind of fun.
Even inside the house, because it's a big house, a lot of ground to cover, there'd be those, what we used to call hoverboards, but they're just
wheels that
balance
they're little
boards
segways with no handlebars.
Yeah.
Totally.
And different little slow speed vehicles in the house.
That's a really fun way to say it too.
Yeah.
Different slow speed vehicles.
There'd be a giant Ghostbusters firefighter pole that you could slide down, but also just a big slide you could go down. And the climbing wall, you could climb all the way to the top floor and not have to
That's cool.
climb down.
My brother would love that. He loves rock climbing, indoor and regular. And
it's the best.
And he was in our house. We have the stairway going up to the second floor. He's made the proposal that we do the whatever you call those grips that you put in for indoor climbing, like all the way up the walls. So we're like climbing up to the second floor. And so far, my wife hasn't gone for it, but I'm sure my kids and myself are like, that sounds really rad.
Oh, it's so
Instead of like
rad.
family photos and like stuff on the wall, like, you just have.
I'm all about that.
But my wife has to save me from myself, though, so it's probably best that she's going to be like, no, babe, we're just putting family photos and a couple of, what do they call those things they hang off the wall? The sconces, a couple sconces. And I'm like,
There would be not a single
chandelier.
sconce in my house.
There's a no sconce rule.
I would have, okay.
Don't break the sconce
I
rule.
know you wanted me to get to one more room, and I know we're limited on time, but let me just talk about decor. I think it's important that things are thematically consistent, and I think that in like the living areas that I would want my wife to take the reins on decorating.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to live somewhere that my wife and family don't live.
Yeah.
And I would want them to feel comfortable and like looking at the things that they want to look at. But in my areas like gym, spa,
Your butthole.
I would want to have really cool artwork. I would be too nervous to have really expensive, like say a Dali or a Picasso. That would make me. I would have a separate gallery.
Yeah, it's like me with a fancy car. It's like I don't want to stress about my car. I like not worrying about it.
Yeah, same. I can't have nice things.
It's the quality of life
necessarily. Yeah. I would maybe have a separate shrine with like elite artworks that are worth more money than I can comprehend.
What would be like one thing?
But I would. What would be?
Give us one example. We got it. Just a visual show or imagining. I want to feel it.
Any Dali painting. I mean, he's the GOAT.
Yeah. Okay.
Or some Dada artwork, like some Dada sculptures.
From that era? Yeah.
That era is one of my favorite art movements. Anything Dada, anything.
My 1-year-old's super into it. He says it all the time. He's always like, Dada. I'm like, oh, shit, dude.
Mine too.
This guy's into art. Yeah.
Me too. I would have cool, funny movie posters from... Have you seen recently they came out on Twitter? There was a big thing about bootleg movie posters in Africa that were hand painted, but it just like a ridiculous interpretation of movies.
But that sounds awesome.
I would have those.
That sounds awesome.
I would have those. I would have a lot of joke art, a lot of like you ever go to an art opening and you're just like, this is really cool and interesting. I like the message that this art is sending. But who the fuck is hanging this obscene thing in their house?
Really wealthy people.
Really wealthy people or just like super wealthy degenerate people?
I mean,
that's what I would be. There's this artist on Instagram, Outlaw Scumfudge.
Yeah,
I went to one of his art. Yeah, we both love his stuff. I would get a lot of his stuff.
He just has the weirdest, grossest sense of humor. And it's funny because he's just like, it's poo-poo caca, like just for the sake of you going like, oh, gross.
Yeah.
But it's funny. There's some funny jokes in there. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I'm into it. A lot of fractals, a lot of psychedelic stuff.
I love that you'd have like that because I think you and I both like, I can appreciate like Alex Gray and then this sentimental, sincere, trippy stuff.
Yeah.
But also, the Outlaw Scumfudge is a part of our life experience. It's also funny and odd and weird. And some of my favorite trippy experiences have also had just like really funny poo-poo caca humor.
Yeah.
So what the hell? Like that's great. You're gonna have both of that in there.
And I realize I haven't filled all the rooms in this hotel. A lot of the rooms, the walls would be knocked down and it'd just be floors. But I would want one floor to just be rooms that are basically every room is a museum exhibit, like diorama style, like you go into this room. Oh, I'm in prehistoric times, and it's just
saber-tooths.
Fabrications of like saber-tooth tigers and woolly mammoths. You go into another room, you're just like, oh, I'm in the Amazon right now.
Love it.
You go into another room, you're like, oh, this is Egypt, or like it basically Epcot Center, one floor, every room, different time and place. And then I'd have a garage with a lot of outdated stuff that you're supposed to use on your car. Like, oh, this Armor All from 1987.
That sounds like
because I grew up in like a borderline hoarding situation.
Yeah.
I'd have like a workshop that I never use, but I allow people to use. A garage working on cars. I don't
You
know
don't, but somebody else could come in. My buddy
here's-
Pat could come in and build a truck, but you're not going to work on one.
Exactly. Here's my thing.
You hear that, Pat? Smith Race Wire. We got a spot for you. A fantasy spot. And it's going to be great.
I want to create a thing where
There's brisket.
I only go to places when I choose to go. But all the things in life that are a pain in the ass, getting your car fixed, getting anything in your house fixed,
Going to the doctor.
getting anything made, going to the doctor. I would have an exam room in my house. I would have all the monitors and the chair that goes up and down.
The hospital comes to you.
I would have everything. I would want to have a diner with hibachi tables, like a 50s diner, but all the tables have hibachis too, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah. I'm with you there.
But I want to create a house that, I don't have to go places to do I don't want to have to go anywhere to get an oil change. You come to me to do the oil change. You come to me to groom my dog.
You hear that, Easy Lube? Yeah, bitch.
You come to me to give me a physical.
You come to Sandy's.
You come to me to give me a
You hear that, Kaiser Permanente? You better not be Permanente stuck on your premises Because you're going to Sandy Danto's to stick your finger in his butthole, which is a pretty cool room, if you ask me.
Yeah. My butthole is the best room of the house.
Where can people find you? Where can people find Sandy Danto?
Check out my podcast, MFers, a parenting podcast.
I've been on it.
One of my best guests.
It's a blast. Thank you. So much fun.
All my social media is just my name, Sandy Danto, at SandyDanto. I've got a monthly show at the Improv. It's not stand-up. It's just weird stuff going on called Watch Me Chill. It's basically the comedy representation of what my fantasy house would be.
How do people find out about that to go to that? Do they go to the Improv website?
You can go to the Improv website. I post about it on Instagram quite a bit. The next one is on January 29th at 10 p.m.
Oh, yeah. This will come out before that. This is going to come out, What is it today? Thursday? This should come out tomorrow morning. So,
sweet.
Guys, you go see Sandy at the Improv. Go say what's up. Tell him you be like, hey, I heard you on Fantasy House.
Tell me to put a shirt on.
Tell him to put a shirt on. Also ask if you can see his butthole. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Tell me how much you enjoyed hearing about my butthole.
Dude, tell him. Tell him to send me a DM and tell him. We all want to know about how much you enjoyed it. Thank you guys for listening. If you're a new listener and this is your first time listening, hit the subscribe button. Give us a 5-star review. Don't you feel like a hashtag blessed guest? I know I do. I certainly do. If you've been a long time listener, first time doing this, you've already subscribed, you've already given us a review. Hit that share button, baby. Share this. Sharing is caring. Mr. Rogers would want you to share. He would. He'd tell you to share. He'd probably think that my show is obscene, but he's a loving man, right? He'd accept me for who I am. You made this, Mr. Rogers. You made this no holds barred NSFW real estate podcast. Guys, hit me up if you have any questions. If you want anything, want to know anything, and if there's anything I can help you with, hit me up on JONSHEFSKY Instagram or fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com. You guys, get out there and have a great day. Kick ass. Be silly. Have fun.